The Resident Evil spin-off games are interesting. They don't all reach the same level of quality as the mainline games, but some of them are still a ton of fun to play. On the other hand, I need to address something very important. In part 1, I stated how I don't feel like Code Veronica is a spin-off game. Let me just say that I apologize for the Code Veronica slander. For those that don't know, Code Veronica was supposed to be the original Resident Evil 3, and I understand that it's canon, but this game is still considered a spin-off. Developers have even said it in past interviews. A game can be canon and a spin-off at the same time. With that being said, I am going to rank all of the Resident Evil spin-off games. Comment below your official rankings of the spin-off Resident Evil games. But without further ado, let's get it. Okay, so this might actually surprise you guys, but there are 6 games on this list that I've never played. I've never played Resident Evil Gaiden, Survivor 1, Survivor 2, Umbrella Chronicles, Darkside Chronicles, or Dead Aim. But eventually, I will play all of these games and do videos on all of them. Ooh, Resident Evil Mercenaries 3D. So this one's tough for me because this is a 3DS game. This is a random spin-off that Capcom decided to make, and ironically enough, I really enjoyed this game. But the gameplay played just like a regular Mercenaries game mode, and the fact that the later levels got more difficult, and sometimes by the end of the level, you had all of these really powerful and big enemies trying to kill you. So I just took a picture of my copy of this game just to prove to you guys that I still have it. Is it perfect? No, it's a 3DS game and it's a massive spin-off. So if we're just comparing the spin-off games, the Mercenaries deserves an A rank in my opinion. Ooh, Resident Evil Reverse. So you're probably thinking, why am I ranking this game when it's not even out? Well, I did play the beta and I played a good amount of it. If you've been watching my channel for a few months now, you probably understand where I stand on Reverse. I actually enjoyed it. I've said countless times that the gameplay that we got was so much fun. Was it bare bones? Maybe a little, but the gameplay itself was so much fun. I like this whole idea of a mini battle royale where you're competing against other Resident Evil characters, and when you die you become a BOW. That's just such a cool concept to me. There was only a few characters, a few BOWs, and there was only one map, which was the RPD. So this one's really tough as well, and I gotta be honest, this game, I know you guys are gonna get mad, but I'm gonna put it in the A ranking. Resident Evil Outbreak File number 1. I don't have too much to say. I mean, just Resident Evil with a multiplayer component was so much fun. I owned the Outbreak games when I was a kid, and I never played the multiplayer. I always played the single player aspect of these games. And I gotta say, regardless of what you think of the single player or multiplayer, the core gameplay was a ton of fun. It played like classic Resident Evil, and I just love the dialogue between the characters, the way the gameplay played, and obviously Outbreak File number 1 was pretty chaotic. I actually can't remember if it was the first or second game or both, but one of these games had like a giant zombie elephant. These games were crazy, and honestly, I'm gonna rank both of these games together. So I'm gonna have to put Resident Evil Outbreak File number 1 in the S ranking. Whoa, I just glitched out. Speaking of glitching, are you a gamer or somebody who needs more energy in your day? Well, look no further. Today, I would like to introduce Glitch Energy. Glitch Energy is a zero sugar, low calorie energy drink designed for gamers. With many more benefits than a typical store-bought energy drink, such as improved processing speed, memory, and stamina. So that way you can run just as fast as Leon can. Their website features easy accessibility and a clean, organized design. They have a ton of products that range from tubs and shakers. If you're new to Glitch, check out their official starter kit, which features a shaker cup and 7 Glitch Energy flavors. They recently released their new glow-in-the-dark variant as well. Be sure to use code RAPIDCRAFTER for 10% off on all of your orders. Whether you're a gamer or need more focus and energy throughout your day, check out out Glitch Energy with the link in the description or in the pinned comment of this video, and use code RAPIDCRAFTER for 10% off. Thank you, Glitch Energy, for sponsoring this video.
Resident Evil Outbreak File 2.
Ooh, Outbreak File number 2. And same thing, I mean, I don't have too much to say. I don't mean this as an insult, but both of these games are pretty much the exact same thing. It's just both games have different scenarios. But Outbreak File number 2 was a ton of fun, and I really like this game. If you made it this far in the video, drop a like right now if you are an Outbreak fan. I want to know how many of my viewers are actually fans of Resident Evil Outbreak, because these games are absolutely amazing. Come on, Capcom, remake these games already. But if it's not obvious already, I'm gonna have to throw Outbreak File number 2 in the S ranking right alongside the first game. Ooh, Resident Evil Resistance. From this point on in the video, it's gonna get really controversial, so strap in and get ready. All right, so Resident Evil Resistance. I know this is going to split this entire audience in half. Half of you love this game, half of you hate it. I'm gonna be straight up. I did not like Resistance, but that doesn't mean the game was complete garbage. My two biggest problems with this game that really held it back for me was the balancing and the server connection issues. Every time I wanted to play this game, it took so long to get into a match. Sometimes I'd be waiting in the lobby for like 20 minutes, and I would literally sit there the entire time just waiting. But alongside that, the balancing in this game was absolutely terrible. See, a lot of people don't like this game because they don't like the concept of Resident Evil being multiplayer. And that's a shame because I do think Resistance had a lot of potential. The abilities were pretty cool. The characters were pretty cool. The leveling up system wasn't the worst. It was actually a decent leveling up system. And the cosmetics that they added later on in the game were also pretty cool. The game also had supply crates, but they weren't forced upon you. But for me, and I feel like for a lot of people, the balancing is the only thing that really killed this game. The graphics were good. The gameplay played just like the remakes, but I do have to treat this review fairly. Even though I despise this game, even though I hated it, when the game was working and when the game was actually fun, I had a great time. So this one's gonna have to go, honestly, straight up in the B ranking.
Umbrella Corps.
Oh my goodness. Resident Evil Umbrella Corps. Guys, where do I even start? Some people are like, Resident Evil 6 is the worst Resident Evil game, or Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City is the worst Resident Evil game. Guys, do I gotta be honest with you? Umbrella Corps, at least on modern platforms, is literally the worst Resident Evil game ever made. I don't know what Capcom was thinking. This is some of the worst gameplay out of the entire series. For some reason, the camera like zooms up all close to your character when you're trying to shoot. The melee system was extremely clunky. The single player component was extremely repetitive. And don't even get me started with the multiplayer. Now, I will say another very cool and nostalgic aspect about this game is how you can replay older Resident Evil levels. Like, I'm pretty sure there's a level in Raccoon City, and then you also have the Resident Evil 4 level, which is really cool. But outside of that, this game is not good. So if it's not obvious already, and if I didn't make it that clear, Umbrella Corps is literally, I mean, if there was a Z rank down here, I'd throw it down here, but it's getting a D rank. Yeah, literally the worst Resident Evil game on modern platforms.
Resident Evil Revelations.
Ooh, Resident Evil Rev 1. So Revelations 1 is an interesting game to me, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts, so comment this below. Which Resident Evil Revelations game do you prefer? The first one or the second one? This might be an unpopular opinion, but I actually like Revelations 1 far better than Revelations 2. I don't know what it is, and for those of you that don't know, Revelations 1 was originally a 3DS exclusive, so we do have to consider that. First of all, the setting and Revelations 1 is really cool. Being on an abandoned ship out in the ocean, but I just love the music in this game. I mean, just listen right now. I also really like this version of Jill Valentine. I don't know what it is, but something about her character in this game was much more likable than other games, and the other characters were pretty cool as well. So Revelations 1 has a lot of qualities that I really like more than most people. The story was a little all over the place, but I still feel like it was for the most part decently easy to follow. I thought the level design was really cool. Some people might really get mad at me here, but I'm gonna have to put this game in the S ranking.
Resident Evil.
Ooh, Revelations 2. So this also might be an unpopular opinion, and I just want to say right off the bat, I really like this game. But the reason why I like Revelations 2 less than Revelations 1 is because Revelations 2 felt more like a Last of Us clone. You have the second character, which plays a lot like Ellie in The Last of Us. You can crouch, you can throw bottles, you have stealth, you can craft on the spot whenever you want. I'm not saying Capcom copied The Last of Us, but Revelations 2 really gives me The Last of Us vibes. But that's not entirely the reason why I like it less than the first game. This game just wasn't as memorable to me. Honestly, the best thing I liked about this game were the characters. But I don't know, just something about the location, it just wasn't as cool and creepy to me as Revelations 1. The music also didn't really stand out to me as much as the first game. I remember playing the first game and just listening to the music while fighting a boss was just so memorable. And the first game had more memorable moments in my honest opinion. But the second game just really didn't do it for me. Now, I will say that Revelations 2 is much more polished than the first game, and I do like the aesthetic of Revelations 2. So I really like this game. It's still a great Resident Evil game, so I'm gonna have to put it in the A ranking.
Resident Evil.
Now this one is also going to be very controversial. Operation Raccoon City. Okay, I seriously got to hear your guys' thoughts right now. Who wants an Operation Raccoon City 2? You guys can't see me right now, but I'm raising my hand. I feel like I'm the only person on this planet that wants a sequel to this game. Not because I thought the first game was good by any means, but the concept of Operation Raccoon City was so good, and the developers literally blew it. And if I'm not mistaken, Capcom didn't directly develop this game. I'm pretty sure this game was outsourced to a different company. But I will say that Operation Raccoon City is one of the very bad Resident Evil games that I really love. And you guys are probably going to be disappointed with my ranking on this game. But again, I am ranking this game not based on the entire franchise. I'm ranking it in how it stacks up against the other spin-off games. Man, Operation Raccoon City was so much fun. It was clunky, it was buggy, it had its problems. The regular enemies that weren't zombies were absolute bullet sponges. But everything between the music, the characters, the aesthetic, the concept, and even the locations, recreating some of our favorite locations from the franchise. This game had such a good concept, and only if it was executed correctly, this could have been easily one of the best Resident Evil spin-off games ever made. But if I'm being honest, the best thing about this game is the soundtrack. I mean, listen to this. Like seriously, whoever was in the studio making the soundtrack for that game, Capcom, you gotta get those guys back. But I will say the game had a terrible ending. It's a messy game with a coat of Resident Evil paint. So you guys are gonna be mad at me, but I'm gonna put this game in the S ranking.
Resident Evil.
Last but not least, Resident Evil Code Veronica. So I played this game a lot when I was a kid, and I played it last year on PC. Code Veronica is a really good game with so many amazing characters like Claire, Chris, Wesker, and Steve is an alright character. He was never too likable to me. A lot of people also don't like the backtracking in this game, and that's understandable. I think the locations in this game are so well done, and just the overall aesthetic and just that creepy vibe being on that island alone. Someday, I hope we get a remake of this game. Code Veronica is one of my favorite classic RE games, so this might surprise you guys because I don't talk about Code Veronica that often, but this game deserves an S ranking in my honest opinion. So those are my official rankings of just the spin-off games, and this right here is my official ranking of every Resident Evil game. Be sure to leave a like for more and comment your rankings in the comments. Thank you all for watching, and until next time.